Welcome to the Purity for Life podcast, episode 141, Learning Your True Identity in Recovery. For more information on this podcast and other great content, visit purityforlife.me. So this week, Tracey shared something with me. We were talking about, so I don't even remember how we got started on the conversation right now, but we were talking about recovery and addiction, sexual addiction, and the conversation kind of turned to my recovery, and she brought up a memory of quite a few years ago. We had already moved in the house, and I was probably 2 or 3 years into my recovery, and something had happened, and it wasn't a slip or anything like that on my part, but something had happened that had triggered Tracey and had caused her to kind of think about my recovery, and to kind of think and kind of question and doubt as to my progress and really where I was at, and if I was hiding or if I was lying or minimizing something or covering something up. And she told me she remembers the experience because it was an experience where I got real frustrated. It wasn't as if I got angry, but she told me, she said you were obviously upset, and you kind of raised your voice and you kind of shouted, yelled, or I forget how she used the word, but basically said, that's not who I am anymore. I'm not that person. And so, I know how it was. She was listening to a podcast, and it was the guy was talking about speaking things into, speaking the truth out, telling yourself the truth, and, to kind of build confidence into yourself of who you really are, and over getting a prophetic word from someone, that when we speak the truth about ourselves, and when we speak of how God feels about us and what the word says about us, that there's a lot of power in that. Anyway, that's how she started this conversation. So, my response was to her is that I'm not that kind of person anymore. That's not who I am. And her response was almost as if she said she felt like she was humbled, kind of not corrected, or not that I was trying to put her in her place, but just she kind of felt humbled a little bit from her negativity, her kind of assumption that I was up to something, or I was lying or whatever, and had to kind of see that, she was putting something on me and kind of speaking a lie in some ways over my life, or speaking something over my life that wasn't true. Tying it into our identity, tying it into what the word says about who we are versus how we might feel about ourselves, or how others might perceive us, or how others might see us. And oftentimes the way we think about ourselves, the way we feel about ourselves, how other people feel about us, how other people see us, are not true at all, and are based on past hurts. They're based on past betrayals, and which is in some ways natural, because we remember betrayals, and we remember things that have happened to us that have hurt, but they're not always the truth. They're not based on the truth of what is the here and now, and what is real, and what is right, and what is actually going on in a person's life, and who they are today, not who they were yesterday, or a month ago, or 6 months ago, or 6 years ago. So just kind of a neat little story she shared with me, kind of a neat little memory, and I'm really thankful that she shared that with me, because it's something that I don't want to ever forget, and it's something that I feel, even right now at 6 years into my recovery, I feel like I can do more. I feel like there's more to do. I feel like there's more to dig within my own heart and soul, and there's more work to be done as far as my emotions go, and my feelings go, and my thoughts, and what triggers what inside. And so it's still a journey, and still peeling back the onion layers, still, identifying issues that associate or can associate with porn addiction, with sexual addiction. And it's an ever-growing journey, ever-unfolding journey to find healing and recovery.